I'm William Kentridge. I'm an artist based in Johannesburg. I work in drawing, in film, in theatre, in opera, in animation and sculpture. I've been working with charcoal and drawing in charcoal for 50 years, I guess. Much more recently, I suppose, I've been working a lot in different kinds of sculpture. Sculpture that starts as a paper silhouette and shifts from a paper silhouette into a paperweight-sized expansion of that silhouette into something that has weight and heft. And then these bronze sculptures sometimes expand from a handheld size to a medium size and then to something that's the height of a ceiling, sort of 3.5 meters or so. The sculpture Open here on the estate was one of approximately 100 small objects, they're like paperweight size, which were many different shapes and objects, everything from a bread box to a radio to a Greek sculpture to a portrait. And some of those 100 sculptures we expanded into the medium size and some of those into a large size. These objects are a bit like hieroglyphs. They're recognizable objects, but they also stand in for a word or a thought or a riddle which you can't quite solve. They're like words on a page of text or a piece of typesetting ready to be printed. And the piece that is here, Open, was based on a kind of corkscrew, so it's in one sense very appropriate, in the other hand a bit obvious for a wine estate, but it's not obvious that that's what it is, and it's kind of an archway through which you can walk. The fact that it has these two pillars at the side give it an anthropomorphic element. It's partly a human as well as being this oversized corkscrew. It can be seen either as this large three-dimensional object you walk around and through, or it can be seen at a distance as this flat silhouette shape, a two-dimensional shape. So it plays between the two-dimensional and three-dimensionality of sculpture. It's always a question of what happens when sculpture goes outside. Sculpture is always easier inside, because then one has a sense of scale. As soon as sculpture goes outside, however huge it is, it always feels kind of small because it has to compete with the scale of not just a tree, which is bigger than any sculpture, but with the scale of a hill that's much bigger than that also. How does that work against the scale of the hills and the estate and the vineyards? I don't know what people will take away. That's always the pleasure of making the work. You make the work and then you hope, if it works for you, if it has an interest for the artist making it, that it will still connect to other things from viewers looking at it. I hope that they take not so much from the individual work, but from the kind of strange conversations between the different sculptures which are here. You know, there are a number of very reflective, shiny surfaces so there's a way, a subtext of the sculpture on the estate being about reflection, the chrome sculptures. There are different artists who've worked with chrome. There are other artists who've worked with bronze. So within that context, I think there's a separate conversation